What's up, everybody? Monster Master Godzilla here, and I'm here to continue the Star Wars-A-Thon. We're now up to Star Wars The Clone Wars. Now, this one is the very first animated Star Wars film in the franchise. Well, really, so far, the first. And it has, and this time it's full of CGI animation. It was theatrically released in the theaters, and it has, and all the characters, like Anakin Skywalker, were voiced by different. The majority of characters are voiced by was not voiced by was not voiced by was actually not voiced by Ewan McGregor, which also means no Samuel L. Jackson for Moss Windu. But Frank Oz was able to reprise his role for Yoda, and Count Dooku, and Christopher Lee was able to reprise his voice of Count Dooku. And for the first time, this one is like this movie is set between episodes 1 and 2. I mean, 2 and 3. Was set between episodes 2, Attack of the Clones, and episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Like an untold story about the battle in the Clone Wars. Now, this movie you see here is a pilot for the famous TV series, which is the CGI animation. And now, a lot of people forgot about it, but a long time ago, like when I was very little, before like I was in high school, and originally there was a TV show called Star Wars Clone Wars, which is hand-drawn animation. But this one, called Star Wars The Clone Wars, was completely CGI, like 3D animation. And it was like a big impact on the audience that it kind of overshadowed the whole thing. And now, this one also, being that between 2 and 3, they actually had a few newer characters that you never saw in live-action movies, like Ahsoka Tano, who is in the same species as one of the Jedi Masters called Shaak Ti, and she becomes like Anakin's apprentice, and she was trying to prove herself that she's not too young to be a Padawan, and she was quite a young Jedi, like kind of in her teenage years, She was trying to become like a Jedi apprentice, which you end up. She's a Padawan at this one, but then she later becomes a Jedi Master, in stuff like Star Wars Rebels, and the live-action Disney Plus TV series shows. And not only there's Ahsoka, there's also Asajj Ventress, who appears on the original 2D in the original hand-drawn cartoon. And she is also Count Dooku's apprentice. And there's also the clones, which get more screen time, and they got some character development. And the leader of the clones was named Captain Rex, who is voiced by D. Bradley Baker, and I met D. Bradley Baker, the voice of Count Dooku, at DragonCon this year, and I'm going to show you the autograph I got here, folks. And trying to find the autograph, because I have an album full of voice actors' autographs, and here he is, folks. Here it is, D. Bradley Baker, who voices Count Dooku and the clones. Yep, he voices all the clones, including Captain Rex himself. Yeah, I thought I'd show proof of that. I did. And D. Bradley Baker, if you haven't met him, if you haven't already, if you guys haven't already, you should definitely go meet D. Bradley Baker. He is super awesome in person, nice guy, and very fun to interact with. A great voice actor who's done several voices, including the Daffy Duck on Space Jam, to Bubble Bass on SpongeBob, the Clock King on Batman: The Brave and the Bold, number 4 of from Codename Kids Next Door, etc. So, back to the movie. The plot involves that Jabba the Hutt's son has been Rada the Huttlet, who is invented for the Clone Wars and becomes a new character set in between 3 and 4, 2 and 3, and he's been kidnapped by General Grievous, who is only there for a second. So the Jedi were all in a mission to rescue Rada the Huttlet, who is actually a baby Hutt, and they also introduce a new character called Zero the Hutt, who is Jabba's uncle. And the Hutts were a crime family, as what Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, explains, that the Hutts are gangsters in Tatooine. And so, not only did they... So they made a deal about finding Jabba's son, and they... So then, when both Ahsoka and Anakin found Rada, one of the droids was spying on the Jedi who found Rada, and they put him in his backpack. Thought they were kidnapping him, saying, betraying his trust. So when Anakin said out loud, "I hate Hutts," he showed the video. The spy droids Count Dooku showed the recorded video, and manipulated Jabba the Hutt, thinking that he betrayed the trust. As he heard Anakin say, "I hate Hutts." However, that plot was foiled. That plan was foiled when both Anakin and Count Dooku fought, and he won, and they managed to return Jabba's son, and the mission is a big success. So, like I said, this movie, when it was released in the theaters, it was served as a pilot for the TV show, and ended up releasing the TV show after this big movie was a huge success at the box office. And so would I recommend this movie? Absolutely. If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you should definitely grab this in your collection. Especially if you're a grown man if you're someone who watches cartoons even as an adult, like myself. So, this one is definitely one I recommend, especially if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan. And I mean, I recommend it truly for this one I recommend only for hardcore Star Wars fans. And that's all I have to say, folks. And as always, stay awesome, Monster Masters, and I'll catch you later. And stay tuned for more. Next, we'll be doing the Star Wars sequel trilogy. And that's all I have to say, folks. And as always, stay awesome, Monster Masters, and I'll catch you later. Bye.